was just on the phone, y'all, with a partner of mine. Shout out to my buddy Mike. I gotta make this video. I had to pull over so I can make this video so I can make sure I don't pull up in the garage and get some bad lighting. We were talking about abatements, and it's a pretty good topic. I'll probably make a video about that once I'm done getting back to the house, and I do a little more, pull up some sources to use in the video. Okay, but we were talking about the topic of you not owning anything. They own it. So how people tell you don't own your estate, you don't own that name. They own it, and they use the maxim of law to say what what they create, they control. And so they use that to validate why they come up with this conclusion that you don't own your name. That's like you say you don't own your estate. Okay, then why can you revoke the power of attorney? Or how are you able to revoke their control using the power of attorney then? The law says you can revoke power of attorney because it's your estate. So why do we make up these conclusions and we stick to them? This is one of the reasons why I always tell us we got to be willing to challenge shit, use common sense, and stop regurgitating shit we hear on the internet that's teaching us things that are contrary to what the law is actually saying. And this is what causes a lot of confusion. Your estate is your estate. When you pass away, all of your property, not the state's property, your property is dispersed to your heirs, your family, your children, your wife, your spouse, your husband, your heirs, the heirs to your property. If you don't have, a will put in place or a trust put in place, it's your property. The thing that your father and mother gave you when you were first born, after they gave you life, they gave you a name. When you first got here, you received a name. Your estate is in the same name that your father and mother gave you. That is your name. So I don't know where we get this from. This is not even biblical for people to, we know that the Bible has been implemented into law as well. So how can we believe that? How can we understand? How can we clearly understand the power of attorney, knowing that you can take control of your estate with your power of attorney, knowing that you can grant someone else your consent to administer your estate, yet you say it's not yours, it's theirs? How does that work? That doesn't even make sense. Just like when mother was born, when your mother realized her pregnant, she was feeling some things in it. She was feeling, the conception, feeling some things in her womb, in her stomach, and she went to the physician to get the work done. Basically to fill out the paperwork so she could start this process. This 9-month journey before your birth comes. She had to give consent to them for them to move the way she needs them to move to help you out. Because you're gonna be incompetent when you come in the world. When the water breaks and you're birthed into this world. Where do we get this attitude? Where we get this thought, this conclusion that came from somebody else on the internet? I don't know who originally started it, but it spread like wildfire. And I'm almost 10 years into this, studying this stuff, and I heard it from the beginning. You don't own it. It ain't your name. It ain't, you can't own it. You can only control it, but you can't own it. How can you say you can control it, but you can't own it? But you want to use the same maxim that says what one owns, you can only control what you own, but you say you can control your name, but you can't own it. How does that make sense? How does it make sense to hold on to that, but you don't realize what you're saying? Let me see if I can find that damn maxim. See if I can find it real quick. Damn, the thing, I had it on pause while I was trying to look for the damn thing. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just keep on talking. Well, I think most of y'all have heard that maxim. It's a maxim, and it basically speaks about what one creates, one controls. So they feel like since they're saying you didn't create the entity, the all caps name, so you can't control it. There are many laws that can speak in contrary to that so-called conclusion. You know, like you say, you create an LLC, you thought of that yourself. Okay, your father and mother created that name that they gave you, but it's still created by your father and mother. They created it because they came up with that. That's intellectual property. They gave it to you though. They granted it to you. It's your gift. Along with your life, they also granted you a name. They gave you a name. It's not created by the state. The state only created a fictitious entity for you to conduct business, and it was done by your mother's consent. They did that. It was done for you to benefit from. It's for you. It's you the beneficiary of your state. You can't do that. Name something that you can create when you're born, when you're first born, when you're a baby. You can't create shit. You need somebody to do things for you until you reach the age where you can take control of your own stuff. Okay, so that it was done when you were born. When you were first born, the estate was created when you were a baby. But you can't put a name. You can't say there's they on it, and we good for using the damn word they, and we can't put a fucking name on the word they. Who the fuck is they? When you read a deed, for instance, you read a deed, a title on a car, or a deed to a house. When you flip the back of it or the front of it or whatever, it shows the owner of that on that deed. It shows a particular name. And it don't say, I ain't talking about state of Georgia written at the top of it, state of Washington at the top of it. What natural person name is written on there? You will not see no natural person written on that all caps name. That's you are the one that control that. Okay? You are the one that control that. And you do that with a trade name registration. You can do that with a trademark. You can do a power of attorney. These things are things you get to control that name with. So how the hell you can say, I don't own it, but I can control it? Is that like an oxymoron? How can you say, oh, well, you didn't create it, so you don't own it. You can control it, but you don't own it. How does that make sense? If you saying they created it, but they can't control it though, that means they can't control it. If I can create a power of attorney that can revoke their power of attorney, they can revoke their power to administer my estate. If I can do a trade name registration because that's the name that I was granted when I that's the derivative of my natural name, then how can I control it and take it out of their control if they are the ones that created it? Think about this stuff before y'all start listening to stuff on the internet. When people telling you that you don't own your name, it ain't yours. It ain't yours. You can use it, but you can't. It ain't yours. Y'all stop listening to dumb shit on the internet. Start looking up stuff and use a little common sense to go with it. How can they control your shit if you can revoke their control? How do they own it? Okay, stop using that maxim to try to validate your thoughts when that thought, what you're saying, was really just something you regurgitated from the internet. Okay, think about that. You know that was anything you create after once you start recreating once you reach the age of majority. You know, well, you can probably create before then, of course but you start creating things. And say you're a teenager, yeah, you can be a minor. You may invent something when you're a minor. It's yours. It's your property. It's something that something could be a thought. It could be a book you wrote. It could be anything you create. You can control it. You have rights to that. That's yours. Well, it's not. But you can't use that for. You can't try to find different ways to try to disarm yourself of the power that you have. That's not even biblical. The Bible even says you got dominion over all things. How the hell you just? And I'm not even a religious guy, but we know that there's some truths written in that Bible. And especially if you get the real understanding of what it's really saying in the Bible, you can get from it what you need to get from it. But it's not even how can we 1 minute talk about we understand how the Bible, the Declaration of Independence specifically says that their power derived from the consent of the governed. We know that. We know that a power of attorney can be, that gives you the power to give someone else authority to administer your estate on your behalf. We know we can do that. That's control. That's your power. Okay. We know you can trademark your name. Keep people from just railroading you, using your name at will. We know we can do that. So if you got all this ability to control that name, how can you then, with the same tongue, you confess that with your mouth, but then with the same tongue, you say you don't own your shit? Then you can't use that maxim to even validate what you're saying. Because the maxim says you can, what one control, one can create. What one create, they control. So stop saying they created it. It's not yours. They created it, so you can't own it. That shit don't even sound right. Okay, so when you create it, you control it. Your father and mother gave you that. They didn't create that. That name, Michael Eugene Roseman, my father and mother gave me that name. It does not belong to the state of Georgia. Okay, their job is to create an entity so I can do business with it. But that name was given to me. So once I take control of it, it was created so I can do business with that name. When I do business with that name and I revoke power of attorney so nobody can just go taking my shit from me, you know what I'm saying? So they can't just administer my estate like they want to without my consent. I have control of my name. When you trademark your name, you take control of your name. You're putting protections on that name so that you can have control over what belongs to you. Your father and mother gave you that name. So stop saying they own it. Who the fuck is they? If you can't put a name on it, stop saying they. Okay? That's like, they don't want you to do this. Who is they? I might want to name this video, who the fuck is they? Anyway, I'm going to get on off here. I thought I'd kind of throw that out there so y'all can stop feeding into the they shit. Stop feeding into the they shit that you hear on the internet, okay? That's an invisible ass monster that people have then put in your people's mind to have you doubting the reality of things or what's really going on, okay? You have more power than you realize you have, okay? Get rid of the illusions that they, whoever the fuck they is, has all this power over you and your life. Get rid of it. Get rid of those thoughts, y'all. Get rid of that shit. That's what have a lot of y'all bound and confused. That's why I encourage y'all to read stuff. Go look stuff up. If you won't look it up, you're going to keep being tossed about by every wind and doctrine. Every process that you see on the internet that sounds good. Sounds good. You running over there to go do somebody's process. They can't even find it. You can't even find the process nowhere in the laws. The only way you hear about it, the only way you can find out about it is if you get a consultation and pay for their process. Some shit they made up. I'm 10 years in damn near with this situation, with this stuff now. And all these years I've had to do constant detoxing from me trying people's different processes that they couldn't validate during the law with the laws, the actual laws. That's one of the reasons why a lot of the stuff we trying and we getting stressed out, having strokes, people putting guns in their mouths, they got them stressing themselves. I know somebody with a brain injury right now in California going through all types of shit with this stress when it comes to the court because they listen to all kind of shit and won't go read the laws and won't apply the laws. And when you apply the laws, cognitive dissonance kicks in because you reading that and you're conflicted with what you heard on the internet. You done heard the Gene Keatings and the L's and the Bays and the Ali's and all these different people on the internet, on these different platforms that are just teaching stuff. Some of it's valid, some of it's trash. Okay? But if you don't read, you won't study on your own, you'll never know the difference. So anything that sounds good, and if they use a lot of charisma when they're delivering this, telling you how it goes, and you too damn lazy to read, that shit sound good to you because you lazy as a motherfucker. Stop being so damn lazy and read something, okay? I'm gonna get on off here, y'all, because my weekend about to get started, and I need to mind your business. I'm getting out of here. Hit the like and subscribe and share these videos, y'all. Share them. We got a long way to go. I got a lot to share. Some of it I'm gonna start. I'm gonna do some classes when I get this stuff perfected. When it comes to these bills of exchange, I just mailed all 3 of them this week. 3 of them this week, and I'm gonna keep y'all posted on how it goes. You're definitely gonna need you to get your power of attorney if you're gonna, embark on this journey too with how to endorse your bills properly. You need your power of attorney. That's the simplest thing for y'all to do. Get your power of attorney put together. You make yourself, you're basically rebutting the presumption of death and making yourself the attorney in fact for your estate. Your estate is the principal. Your estate is the principal. You got to make yourself you're basically rebutting the presumption of death. You're going to use that. I'm going to be, we're definitely going to need one. Those things are very powerful. Those things are extremely powerful. I'm not going to make videos on how to do that shit. I'll probably do classes, but I will give you some hints. I'll throw you some nuggets, some stuff to read. I've already told you what to read, but bottom line is you need to really start studying this stuff. Now, this stuff will change your life. But if you don't want to read, if you too damn lazy, I ain't got shit to say to you privately. Somebody called me the other day. Can you explain to him about the power of attorney? Nope. Send him a video. I explained it in detail. I'm not talking to nobody privately about something I made a video about it. Cause if you're too damn lazy to watch a video, give him a video time, y'all. I don't charge y'all to talk to you. If I don't charge you to talk to you, at least give me some time on YouTube. Watch my videos, man. I be very detailed in what I'm doing. I do what I can. But I don't want my time wasted when I'm sitting here giving free labor, free time. I'm putting everything to the side of my personal life to talk to someone for hours at a time and they still don't do the work. I'd rather you go watch the video. At least I'm doing what I'm doing while you're watching the video. You're not messing up my time. And you still crediting me my time. Because you're blessing me with some watch time on YouTube. I don't want you taking up my time and then you still don't want to do the work. I don't want you doing that. That's not fair to me. So I think I do exactly what I can to try to make sure people get some sauce out here. There's too many people out here, bending y'all over for processes and for hit and miss processes. But there's some good information out here too. But a lot of y'all getting bent over. So you got to be willing to read and study some stuff. So I'm going to start having classes when I start getting this here perfected. I'm doing it for the first time this week. I've sent off 3 bills. I've endorsed 3 of them, sent them all out with the power of attorney and instructions, and we're going to see what happens with them. And as they continue on, I'm going to continue that. I'm going to get it right. I believe I got it right, but I just want to, ain't nothing like confirmation. Once I get it, y'all will know it, and then I'll be ready to go ahead. I'm going to make it my lifestyle because I ain't paying shit out of pocket if I can stay out of my pocket. So that's how I'm planning on doing it. So I'll let y'all know about it. But y'all go ahead and read, study up on the Bill of Exchange Act. Don't matter which one you look up. The Bill of Exchange Act. Even every state has one. Because keep in mind, every state is like its own country. Because Georgia has a Georgia Bill of Exchange Act. You can probably look up a California Bill of Exchange Act. It don't matter. It don't matter which one. The process is the same. So if you feel comfortable looking up your state, do that. It's probably good. It's probably preferable, a better way to do it anyway. But you do that with your power of attorney, and you study it out. Study out the Federal Reserve Act. Study that out. Understand what it is about what an application is. Go back and look at my video about what an application is. It's more than what you thought it was. It really is the money. Anything you applied for was the payment. The application was the payment. You just don't know it. Go back and look at the videos. I'm showing y'all in detail what it is that these terms actually mean. So check them out. And then we'll go and see y'all in the next video as I continue on. I'm going to get my weekend started. Hopefully I can get in some good trouble. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Emerald signing out. Now mind your business.